Welcome, my dear students. So, today's class we will be viewing chapter 2 of history, the earliest people. So, in this chapter, we will be viewing how the evolution of human being take place and what were the different stone age and how was stone age divided into different stages. So, all these we will be viewing in this chapter. So, moving to the first topic. So, if you see most of the early humans, if you see most of the early humans, we will be able to view, or we will be able to study more from this kind of rock paintings. You will be able to see rock painting in the screen. So these kind of rock paintings tell how was their lifestyle, how was the people, how was the people used to hunt during those period, and what were the evolution take place during those period. So if you see, scientists believe the life has started on earth about 3500 million years ago, and human being develop in different stages that you can see on the screen, how the human being develop in different stages. And this take place over a century, and from a series of ancestor, this kind of development is keep on changing, and this process of development is called evolution. And modern human beings probably have changed a lot, and many scientists believe that they have evolved about Africa and elsewhere. So according to them, they spread about common apes, and human developed independently after they separated from common ancestors. The body structure of earliest human being changed over the time. Next, you'll be able to see three pictures on the screen, and three pictures tells us how the human evolution take place. In the first picture, if you see, you can be able to see in the skulls of the human being from the from the early stages. So this tells, the first image portrays us that their brains become larger while the jaws and the teeth become smaller as the evolution process take place. And the second, that is on the third image, you'll be able to see gradually humans began to walk upright on their 2 feet. Their hands become free and they learn to use tools. And you will be able to see on the image 3, they are, the second last image, they are using tools. And in the final image, you will be able to see the pure structure of human being too. And the third, the second image, you'll be able to see, kind of astrologers or kind of archaeological department. They used to, find out the fossils or remains of early creatures that have been buried under the earth, and the main sources that help scientists to trace human origin. So these all three images tells us how the evolution of human being exists and how their development process take place. And now we are moving to the main topics of this chapter. So we got a more small idea about the evolution of human being and how was the development, and we are going to see how Stone Age emerged and what were the development of Stone Age. So first, we will be having a short introduction of Stone Age. About 2 million years ago, human beings were hunters, hunter-gatherers. Hunter-gatherers means hunting animals or cultivating fruits, leaves, seeds, or root for food. So hunter-gatherers, they used to move from one place to other place for their livelihood, shelter, water, etc. In course of development, human beings have followed since they have been divided into various stages depending upon the way of life, material use, and techniques they follow. And they use various type of techniques for hunting. And if you see, as you see in the image, you will be able to see the technique all they follow is through stone, and within the stone they use simple tools for hunting. As metal has not been discovered during those period, then also they, within the help of stones, they try to make different kind of tools and use hunting. And that is why this prehistory age, or this period of where evolution of human being is called as prehistory age, is called as Stone Age. And next we are going to analyze, the Stone Age is broadly divided into 4 periods, and each period we are going to view. But we, in this chapter, we will be viewing the first 2 period, that is Old Stone Age or Patholic Age. The second topic is the Middle Age or Middle Stone Age or Mesolithic Age. Third topic is the New Stone Age or Neolithic Age, and fourth topic is Copper Stone Age or Chalcolithic Age. So the Old Stone Age or Patholic Age, the Middle Stone Age or the Mesolithic Age, we will be viewing in the second chapter, whereas the New Stone Age or Neolithic Age, Copper Stone Age or the Chalcolithic Age, we will be viewing in the third chapter of history. If you see, in the screen, you will be able to see the letters marked on red, that is the words, Padalo, Meso, Neo, and Chakro, you'll be able to see on the red. So these all letters mean old, middle, new, relating to copper, respectively. Whereas if you see, the rest word, that is the word which is not being, marked in red, that is lithic. If you see lithic means it is derived from the Greek word, which means lithos, which means stone. So that is regarding Stone Age. So we are already seen how Stone Age is divided into four periods. And we are going to see during Stone Age. If you see in the map on the left side, during Stone Age, there were different type of sites that was prevalent in the Indian subcontinent. And if you see, most of these sites were located near to the water bodies, where stones were easily available. Why the reason why they select all these the sites is because they have different motives. So we are going to see what are the different motives they were having. So various finished and unfinished stone tools were being found at these sites. That was one of the important things. And the stones found from these sites, what they do is that the places where the ancient tools they made as called factory sites. So they try to use these places as factory sites, and the sites which trace of animal remains and other artifacts are termed as habitation come factory sites. So there were two type of factory sites. The first factory site is that in the first factory site we will be able to get finished and unfinished stone tools, whereas the second factory site is named as habitation come factory site. The habitation come factory sites in which they will be the sites with the trace of animal remains. Animal remains means the different they will be using different animals bones, skulls for different tools. So within the animal remains or other artifacts, so for making that kind of tools, they framed habitation come factory sites. And these are the places where the hunter gatherers and must have stayed for a long period of time. So these are the places have you when you see the on the left screen, on the left side of the screen, you'll be able to see in huge places over here. So these places, the hunter gatherers used to stay for a long period of time, and they used to shift from one place to other place for different type of hunting. And they used to make different type of factory sites and habitation come sites and different sites of these places too. Stone Age, what we are going to study is the Pathologic Age. This Pathologic Age is also known as the name of Old Stone Age. During this period, people use different type of tools, and Pathologic Age human beings were generally called as hunter gatherers. The reason why they are called as hunter gatherers is that they try to live out in open caves or under rock over hills, and they gather plants parts and handle animals for food. And they use different type of tools for and they use different type of tools for gathering it very easily. So at the beginning of Patholic Age, early humans tried to do different type of tools with chopping tools or chipping tools, and most important tools they used is one is core tools and flake tools. So if you see on the right side of this image in the screen, you'll be able to see two tools on projected in the screen. One is core tools, and with this core tools they used to for digging out edible roots, tubers, or cutting trees. Whereas if you see flake tools, they use the flake tools is very sharpened it's a very sharp piece that were shakes out while making core tools. They were used for shinging, hunting animals, and chopping fresh. So you can be able to see both the tools on the screen, how the core tools looks like and how flake tools look like, and how is the size of these core tools, and how the joint and how the tip of these core tools looks like, and how the flake tools look like. And if you see the flake tools, the edge of this flake tool is very very sharpened, and the size is very less. Whereas core tools, the size and the platform is very huge, and the size is also very huge. Based on these two tools, they use different type of hunting methods, and use different type of tools methods for different type of purposes. Next, we are going to view how discovery of fire has created drastic change in the Catholic age. And while making fires, if you see, while making fires, we used to make fires by cracking two stones. And while cracking two stones, we will be able to get the bit pieces or the stone pieces of the stones. And these stone pieces are called as flints. And slowly, they might have learned. Slowly, the evolution of people, they might have learned that fire could use for scare wild animals too, because animals are very scared about fire, and they use fire for scaring of animals, and they use for whenever they use for hunting, they use go with the fire because for their safeness, and animals used to get afraid of fire. So that food, even the food they cooked, and even the food they roast, everything they use fire. And probably the fire is important in part of their life, and they use fire to light up for their during nights. They used to for light up fire, and between the caves and dwelling place, everywhere they used to burn the fire, and they used to keep it up during all night. And gradually they have learned how to use fires, and how to within fire, how can they make different kind of tools and hunting tools. They try to with the help of fire, how can they try to make different type of tools. Also they tried different inventions with the help of fire too. So that is about the discovery of fire, how human evolution has brought out different changes. Of this Patholic age, after a period of about a million years, the Patholic age has come to an end. And next, what happened was that the next stone age has arisen or taken place. The next stone age is Mesolithic age. During Mesolithic age, the climate has started to get warmer. The climate during those times, the climatic change resulted in the growth of several plants and made life easier for early animal species, and it made the life easier for the early humans too. The period is called as Mesolithic age. So during the Mesolithic age, due to climatic change, both the human being and also for animals and other species were able to grow, able to live and live their life more easier than the Patholic age. And let's see what are the various type of change that take place in the Mesolithic age. The changes that took place in the nature during the Mesolithic age changed the life of the early hunter gatherers in many ways, such as they started making better tools known as microliths. These tools look like stone lathes, and help in activities like fishing, capturing big animals. If you see on this right side, you'll be able to see images of the images they use, the images of microliths, such as about the fishing, how the fishing tools capturing big animals. What were the tools they used? You'll be able to see on the right screen. And we are going to see how these type of tools help in the domestication of plants and animals. The climatic change in the Mesozoic age led to growth of plants like mainly three plants such as wheat, barley, and rice. And you can see in Mesozoic age, the hunter gatherers have started culting eating. Culting of seeds, and they try to yield the seeds, and yield the seeds and try to eat the seeds too. And it is also possible when observe new plants growing with the seeds, and throughout the growing of these seeds for their food. So as I said, in the Mesolithic age, the hunter-gatherers cultivated various type of seeds and started growing it, and with the yield of that seed, they started eating different varieties of food, and they try to they try to create lot many seeds, and they try to invent two or three many food crops during those period. And gradually they learn how to tame animals. What is the meaning of tame is that they try to they try to train animals and giving them food, and giving them proper shelter, and they try to tame animals, and make these animals for different type of purposes for their for the agricultural purposes and various things. And if you see one of the animals, so few animals can be considered as a dog. And even if you can see some of the animals they use for different type of agricultural activities. Also they use different type of animals. By the end of Mesolithic age, human beings were probably moving towards more settled life in the Mesolithic age, whereas in the same age the plants growers started settling near the water bodies. That is, the people who were involved in the hunter gatherers, the people who were involved in cultivating seeds and yielding the seeds. They started settling near to the water bodies, and that is how the Mesolithic age has come. Have taken place. And if you see the Mesolithic sites in India, you'll be able to see that the Mesolithic sites in India have been scattered throughout India. And most important major sites of Mesolithic sites in India are: one is the site is the sites in the plain of Gujarat, the rock shelters of Bhimbetka and Adamgarh in Madhya Pradesh, then Chota Nagpur in Jharkhand, sites along the banks of river Ganga between Ghazipur and Varanasi, Uttar Pradesh, Bargur and Buddha, Rajasthan, then Birbanpur in West Bengal, Kullu in Karnataka, etc. Next, we are going to see about the rock paintings in the precious remains of the past. If you see, the rock painting is one of the important sources of information. We will be able to get more information about the evolution of human being and how the Stone Age was prevalent and what are the different. Through we are studying four phases of Stone Age, but we are able to collect or we are able to get more information from these all rock paintings. And one of the prominent rock painting is through rock shelters of it's known as Bhimbetka. And through Bhimbetka you will be able to see some of the some of the stone shelters paintings or rock paintings of Bhimbetka in the screen. And this is located in Madhya Pradesh. For more than 500 paintings by Patholic and Mesolithic human beings have been found. Both the Patholic age and Mesolithic humans have been founded in this rock paintings. And this is a precious is considered to be one of the precious remains of the past. And these caves, that is within these caves, that means we'll be able to find these drawings inside a caves. And we will be most of these caves have been listed as a World Heritage Site by UNESCO. And if you see inside this inside the caves, we'll be able to find a lot many features. And let's see what are the important features we'll be able to see inside these caves. The most important of these paints, animals have been shown separately as part of hunting scenes or running after humans. Birds, fish, lizards, crabs, frogs, and scorpions have been drawn. Some paintings also shows men's and women. Red and white were most widely used colors. So if you're able to see, you'll be able to see most of the colors they use as red and white. And some of the colors are similar to red and white, and some colors seems it is of orange. But based on the kind of lightings, each colors differs. So that is how this chapter is coming to end. So we have already seen how evolution of human being take place, and what how is Stone Age how Stone Age revolution take place, and what are the different phases of Stone Age. And in this chapter we have viewed two Stone Age. One is Patholic Age and Mesolithic Age, and the other two Stone Age we will be dealing in the next chapter. I hope you understand the lesson. Thank you, my dear students.